Good. Okay. Sandra is saying, how can I more easily form a tiny 4x7 oval bezel using stepped bezel wire? The square base twists and the thinner top half tips inwards. Tools marked it a lot, trying to keep it straighter.
It does. It's bearing wire, bezel wire, bearing wire, whatever you want to call it, is not the best if you have something small, because your pliers can, so your pliers are down here, and as this bends, there's nothing up here, so this automatically does that. Yeah, which then brings it in, because you're not actually bending this. You're bending down here. You can't really bend that. So personally, I would not use that type of wire because it does not necessarily work when it's small. When you have larger items, ovals, rounds, that sort of thing, it will work because the tolerance is less, something like that, yeah. Or is it greater, less?
Greater tolerance.
Yes, yeah. It's fine when it's bigger. But if you're doing anything smaller, I would not do it that way. I would just get some rectangular section metal. I would make sure then that your stone sits on a ledge that you have made. So you would have your rectangular section. You would make up the bezel, so the stone would just sit halfway across the width of the bezel. Yep, there's halfway. So the stone sits on there. Then you get a straight-sided setting burr that is that shape. Yep. And then you would put that little shape in like that there for the stone to sit on. And that is the way you would do it. And that way then you can be sure that this top edge is going to be the right size because you've bent the whole rectangular piece of metal like that. It's a little bit more work. It's a little bit more tricky, but that would be the correct way to do it. It's not going to work if you had the bearing wire, unfortunately. But yeah, the straight-sided setting burr, just to take away that profile like that. Then the stone can sit down nicely into that, and then you've got the bezel then to knock over onto the stone. So I'm afraid don't use your bearing wire. Rectangular section. And this could be perhaps 1 mil, 3/4 of a mil if you're really, really accurate, but to get that top edge so the stone sits over half of it, or just under half if you want to, and that would be just about fine.